decided he would fix it for him.
I'll bet I can guess what happened next. I bet he'd be willing to try to fix it whether he was qualified to or not.
He nearly gave me a heart attack. When he stuck that screwdriver into the wiring, it shorted out an entire circuit. Somehow it managed to blow a nearby outlet right off the wall, and it hit the metal filing cabinet directly behind me.
That must have been what we heard. It did sound like an explosion, clear up here.
I nearly died, and Bullet thought it was hilarious. He gave me this helmet and flak jacket to wear, and asked me if I'd changed my mind about packing a gun. I told him it was probably just as well that I wasn't, because it was highly likely that I would have shot someone about now.
Would have served him right if he had shot himself.
What he nearly did, he jumped even higher than I did. He made a grab for his gun, fumbled it when they got caught in his coat lining, and he ended up flinging it across the room. He hit the gunny right between the eyes.
What was it that I said about a license, Gunny?
Ha! 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 Very funny, Major. Looks like I owe somebody a new screwdriver.
I just want to assure everyone that there's nothing to worry about. I assume Gwen has told you what happened. Gwen, are you all right?
My heart is still beating at about 4 times its normal rate.
Well, I'm sorry I laughed at you, but you must have jumped a foot when that explosion happened. You don't know how funny you looked.
That couldn't have looked half as funny as seeing you try to fast draw your pistol and lobbing the gunny right between the eyes with it after you fumbled it.
So, Willis, what does RSO really mean? Reckless sidearm operation?
Well, I think this whole incident had best remain our little secret. Gunny over there has reluctantly agreed that he will explain his black eyes by telling everyone that he fell in the shower. By the way, is the Colonel in? The ambassador has asked me to escort him down to his office.
Well, of course I'm here. Well, should I be during the workday? You know I don't leave the office unless I absolutely have to.
Come along then. You know the ambassador doesn't like to be kept waiting, especially by someone from the military. He shows disrespect when you fail to realize that except for the good graces of the ambassador, you wouldn't even be here. So come on. Come. Get along. Get along, little doggy. Come on. What do you do, Colonel? Do you sleep in that clothes? I've no way to appear before the ambassador.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Has anybody seen my secretary? I'm still having trouble getting my phone to work properly.
Sorry, Miss Humphrey, she hasn't been up here. You're not still having problems with that phone. The same phone that you were having problems with when I first arrived in Afghanistan? I don't guess you'd consider asking a man to help you.
A man? Help me? You're joking, right? How could a man possibly know about a phone that a good secretary wouldn't?
Obviously more than you do.
I'm not paid to know anything about phones, except how to use them. Now, if you don't mind, the lights have gone out in my office for some reason, and I need to read the newspaper and write up some sort of report to send in. The major's office should do nicely.
No! No! Why do you think Bullets was escorting the colonel to the ambassador's office anyway? Isn't the ambassador taking a chance being in the same room with the colonel after their last encounter?
I guess the ambassador's counting on Bullets to protect him. The colonel's probably being called on the carpet because of his actions during the training exercise that the Afghanistan military just completed. Well, instead of traveling with either you or me like he should have, the colonel decided he would travel with his wife under the guise of being a couple of tourists.
I don't see anything wrong with the Colonel's plan, except for the fact that he doesn't have a clue as to what he's doing. I can't see why the ambassador would be so upset with him.
Oh, his plan was fine. Until Mrs. Colonel Ripley spotted a woman wearing a native costume. Oh, she thought it would make a lovely picture to send back home. So she started snapping away. Next thing you know, a bunch of soldiers carrying AK-47 assault rifles surrounded them.
Didn't the soldiers notice the diplomatic license plates on the Colonel's car?
Apparently not. The Colonel hollered to his wife, "Hide the camera! Hide the camera!" So she shoved it up under her dress.
She was wearing a dress? I've never seen her in anything but those power suits she always wears. I don't know which picture is scarier.
The Colonel quickly raised his diplomatic passport, flailed his arms wildly, screaming, "American diplomat! American diplomat!" So there they sat for the next 4 hours, waiting in their car while the Bulgaristan Home Office and the U.S. Embassy exchanged diplomatic notes back and forth, trying to avoid an international incident.
You know, I never thought I'd admit it, but it was actually kind of fun going out with you guys and doing spy stuff. It's a good thing I was riding with the two of you and not the Colonel. Pointing guns at my Colonel, that's a good way to unleash the warrior in me. There is no telling how the guns have been hurt by the time things settle down.
Yeah, right. Mrs. Colonel Ripley inadvertently took a picture of the front steps to an army barracks. And it is strictly forbidden to get caught taking pictures of military installations in this country.
I hope for Miss Colonel Ripley's sake, it was a 35mm lens on that camera she was sitting on.
Not so. It was a 135mm lens with a 2-power extender. That had to have been uncomfortable to sit on for 4 hours.
Nothing to it! A Marine could do that and never flinch.
The ambassador was totally humiliated by the entire situation. That's undoubtedly why the Colonel was called to his office. But hey, at least it wasn't me this time.
I sure hope that the ambassador isn't going to send my Colonel back to the States. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of paperwork that would mean for me.
Oh, I hope bullets doesn't shoot him. Think of how much paperwork that would mean.
Oh no, do you think that's possible? Maybe I should rush down there and protect him.
You go interfering in the ambassador's business, and Gunny here might end up having to shoot you.
I hate to do it, Coop, but my highest priority is the safety of the ambassador.
What about me? What about ladies first?
Sorry, ma'am. But orders are orders. Ambassador first.
Well, I still think I should go down there and protect my Colonel. I am not afraid of being shot.
Oh, come on, Coop. You got a tiny little paper cut last month when you were filling bags of candy for Halloween. You nearly fainted at the first drop of blood.
What the hell is going on around here? What happened to you?
She thought Gwen shot her.
She fainted? Well, we can't leave home lying in the middle of the room now, can we? Well, should someone do CPR or something?
Well, I think when someone faints, you're supposed to loosen their clothing.
Me, Colonel, choose me. I'm qualified to do CPR.
I think this is something that is the more mature woman would never qualified to do.
All right, everyone, just settle down now. Connie, we have already decided that a more mature approach. I am probably the most mature individual in the room.
Ladies and children first!
This isn't the Titanic! It's every man, woman, and child for themselves!
Colonel Beauregard, Aloysius Ripley, what on earth do you think you are doing on top of that hussy? It's CPR, lovey. I don't care what her rank is. I have thought for a long time there was something going on between you two. Oh, I want you to keep your hands and everything else off of Corporal Hussey. Corporal? No, she's not a corporal. CPR stands for, can't probably revive, or something like that. Anyway, well, that is not what I was actually doing. Sergeant Cooper fainted, and I was simply preparing to loosen her clothes. No, wait! That is so much more acceptable, I am sure. Instead of roping the poor girl and putting a lip lock on her, you were simply undressing her while she lay there unconscious on the floor. I am surprised you didn't drag her under her desk again. Oh, I guess you know what you won't be getting any of tonight. All that thing I haven't gotten for 17 years, 7 months, 2 weeks, 4 days, 11 hours, and 32 minutes. That and dinner. Oh. Now look what you've done. You have scared the poor girl, and she has fainted again. Oh, goodness. Call the embassy nurse or someone, or get one of those idiots out of that hobby shop to help the poor girl. I'll see you at home.
Buddy, I thought you would have been happy to be part of the office.
Is she gone? Is it safe?
Yep. Looks like it. All clear. Well, I personally think that went very well, don't you, sir? Oh, it was a good thing Cooper was here to protect you, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Everything is just peachy keen. Got it. You are supposed to call and warn us when Mrs. Colonel Ripley is coming up. What happened?
I was up here with you? How could I call you? I didn't even know she was in the building.
Well, you need to get your men trained better. The security of this office is at stake.
We have a new Marine on guard post 1 today, sir. He probably doesn't even know who Mrs. Colonel Ripley is or what a threat she can be.
That's not good enough, Connie. You need to make it your business enough to be sure that all your Marines know to call and warn us in the future when Mrs. Colonel Ripley is in the area. My safety is what's really at stake here.
If you have to, put up her picture in guard post 1. Kind of an unwanted poster. Just be sure she never sees it.
Yes, sir, Major. Sorry, Colonel, it won't happen again, sir.
How funny. I thought I'd been shot. Where were you when I needed you?
I was right here the whole time to protect you. You just didn't realize it because you fainted. Don't worry, Coop. I'll always be here to protect you.
Looking for something special, are we, Gunny? You know you can't write us up for having classified material out when we're in the office with it.
Actually, I have a personal matter I need to discuss with you.
Oh, well, what's on your mind, Connie?
I just received my orders. I'm being sent to South Africa for my next posting.
I knew a lieutenant colonel who was posted there. He said there's parts of that country that are truly beautiful. So, what's the problem?
It's my wife and that darn cat of hers. She refuses to leave it behind. And I can't afford to pay for the 6 months of quarantine South Africa requires to bring a pet into the country. I was thinking, well, maybe I could skin it and then wear it into the country like a fur hat, and then have it stuffed once I got there.
Only a Marine would think about doing something like that.
Hoorah!
If your wife finds out what you're planning on doing to her cat, well, it would be better if she found out you than flirting with the DCM's secretary.
I haven't been doing any such thing. And besides, things would be a lot worse for you if Mrs. Colonel Ripley found out how you feel how you feel about the Colonel. I bet she'd skin you and nail your hide to the embassy door.
I haven't the faintest idea of what you're talking about.
Shh.
And even if it were true, I would deny it with my dying breath.
I may have a solution to your problem, Gunny. Maybe you could put the cat in a big box with several days' supply of food and water. You could send it by diplomatic pouch, labeling it medical supplies. It would probably get there before you will, unless they send it to South America instead of South Africa.
What kind of medical supplies?
Why, CAT scan equipment! What else?
Great idea, Thorny. I'll go see if we have any appropriate sized boxes down in supply. You may have just saved my marriage.
Oh my God.
Sergeant Thornburg! I really wish you wouldn't do things like that. He's a Marine. You know he's likely to try exactly what you suggested.
Kind of counting on it.
Colonel, you seem a bit preoccupied. Is everything okay? Are you all right? When you came back from the ambassador's office, it's like you were being chased by the devil. And then your wife showed up. Well, to be blunt, things kind of went from bad to worse.
Oh, worse? Oh, things couldn't get much worse. Oh, my gosh. I'm a dead man. Oh, get Gunery back in here to protect me. Oh, quick, barricade the door. Put a chair in front of it or something.
An office chair? I think that's gonna do much good. Colonel, what's happened?
Well, if anyone tries to get in, don't answer the door. Don't let anybody in. Oh, it'll probably be bullets coming to shoot me. Oh, shit, do something.
No one's going to shoot you, sir. And we can't keep the door locked. Bullets and all the Marines have the combination.
Maybe the CIA could smuggle me out of the country and get me political asylum in the States.
Political asylum is only for persons being persecuted by their government, sir.
Oh, believe me, that's what's about to happen.
Why don't you just tell us what happened, sir?
The ambassador, he kept me waiting, standing in front of his desk like a naughty schoolboy. I was getting more and more nervous the longer I stood there. Then he started chewing me out. I mean, he was really letting me have it. Up one side and down the other.
Oh, my poor Colonel.
He was telling me how I had embarrassed the entire United States and humiliated him in particular, like I'd done it on purpose. When bullets crept up behind me and put his hands on my shoulder, I jumped up, spun around, and my golf club hit him.
Where did it hit him, sir?
Right there in the ambassador's office, Thorny. Haven't you been paying attention, Sergeant?
I know where you are physically located, sir. I want to know what part of Bullet's body that you hit.
The worst possible part. I hit him right in the nads.
What did you do next, sir? Did you finish him off? You're such a hero, sir.
I panicked. I ran. I was afraid I was going to get shot.
I'll be willing to bet Bullets was in no shape to have shot anybody just then. I'll bet he was lying on the floor, rolling around, screaming like a little girl.
Just what do you mean by that remark, Thornburg? Screaming like a little girl? Is that some kind of a sexist remark?
All right. Look, we need to prepare for the worst. Coop, I want you to type up a set of lead papers for the colonel as fast as you can. And Thorny, I want you to call down to the garage and make sure there's a driver to take the colonel home.
Coop, I just had a thought. What I really need is that armored car we have ordered, just in case the Bullets does decide to take a shot at me. Yes, that's exactly what I need. What's the status on that, Sergeant?
Well, sir, I have some good news and some bad news about that.
Oh, give me the good news first. I really need some good news right now.
Well, the good news is, your armored car has been built.
What's the bad news then?
By the time they finished armoring a Chrysler K car, it was so heavy it wouldn't go. As the Spanish say, no va.
Nova? How did we get from a Chrysler K car to a Chevy Nova?
Not Nova, Nova. No go. It was so heavy it wouldn't move.
So I'm not getting my armored car then? Oh, what am I going to do for protection?
No, I'm afraid you won't be getting your armored car. But don't worry. I'll stand between you and Bullets if it becomes necessary. He surely wouldn't shoot a woman. Would he?
And the nurse to send up a straitjacket and some tranquilizers.
No time for that. By the time they get up here, he could hurt himself or someone else.
Right now, sir, I really wish you were, cowboy. Maybe I had a lasso with you.
Yes, Mrs. Connie. I'll have him bring home a bottle of Retsina.
Where did everybody go? What am I doing here? What on earth is going on?
You okay, Colonel? Are you back from La La Land now?
Oh, La La Land? Oh, Shifty, what are you talking about? Well, you know I never leave the office.
Where is that military nitwit who attacked Bullets with a golf club? Colonel, come out of that office right now and leave that club in there. I don't want it anywhere near me.
Sure. It was an accident. Sure. I didn't mean to hit him. Why, he startled me when he grabbed me from behind like that. Oh, you should never grab a colonel from behind like that. Why, we are trained to respond to such an attack with deadly force.
It wasn't an attack, Colonel. You are not in a combat situation here. I've said it before, but undoubtedly I will have to say it again. I expect you military types to conduct yourselves with the highest degree of decorum. If it weren't for the good graces of the State Department, you wouldn't be here.
Sure. I'm prepared to apologize to me now, are you?
Well, I will have to admit that is what he wanted to do. But I convinced him that would be a violation of State Department policy and totally lacking in decorum. I think it would be best if you just steered clear from bullets for a few days.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Besides, I've actually come up with a much more appropriate punishment for you. Your tour of duty here is being extended for another year.
Oh, no, sir. Not that. Oh, that is cruel and unusual punishment. Oh, there isn't a golf course within a 12-hour drive from here. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to tell Mrs. Colonel?
Well, you can tell Hortense whatever you want. Your headquarters has already approved my request. My decision stands. Except for the good graces of the state. Remember that, gentlemen. Except for the good graces of the State Department. Colonel, let go of my leg and stand up. Decorum, Colonel, decorum! Don't make me say it again.
You dumb son of a...
What did you say, Colonel? What did I just hear you say?
I said, Das Vidanya. Yeah, that's what I said. Das Vidanya. Well, that's Russian for goodbye. See you later.
I know what Das Vidanya means, Colonel, and that's not what it sounded like to me. It sounded to me like you were mocking me and saying decorum in a sarcastic manner. If I even thought that was the case, I would have to tell Hortense.
Hortense? Oh, well, that's the second time you've referred to someone named Hortense. Who the hell is Hortense?
Your wife, Colonel? You don't even know your own wife's first name?
Now I remember. When you were up here before, you called her Hollie. If I ever knew her first name, I must have forgotten it. I never called her anything but Mrs. Colonel. Why, at the marriage ceremony, even the chaplain addressed her as Mrs. Colonel. Hortense, eh? Well, I'll be jiggered. I wonder if I dare call her that.
Well, that went well, I thought. Oh, Colonel, forgive me for saying so, but I think that is great news. Welcome to the club.
Oh, what do you mean, Coop? Welcome to the club. You're not pregnant, are you?
Oh, heavens, no, Colonel. I just received word last week. I have also been extended for another year. Looks like we'll be spending a bit more time together than we thought. I can't believe my good luck stationed here with you for another year. I mean, it will be a pleasure serving under you, sir.
I thought you had been moping around a lot lately, Coop. Why didn't you tell us your orders got extended? I guess you had good reason, huh? Boy, I sure thought the ambassador was hard on the colonel. I bet he'll be the next one moping around.
You thought the ambassador was hard on the colonel? Believe me, Sergeant, that is nothing compared to what Mrs. Colonel will do when she finds out. And Coop, you should have told us you were depressed about news of your extension.
Well, who can blame me? If you work outside of your occupational specialty in the Air Force, you don't get promoted. And orders promoting Thorny to Sergeant First Class are on the way to the Embassy Message Center. He'll be the same rank as me by the end of the day. Don't you get any delusions of grandeur, Sergeant. I'll still have date of rank over you.
Oh, congratulations, Thorny. I think this calls for a celebration.
How about you whip up some of those cinnamon buns you're famous for?
Well, I'd love to, sir, but they take about 3 hours to prepare. And I don't have the ingredients for them here in the office. Or any way to bake them, even if I did have the ingredients.
You think maybe a batch of those will get me off the hook with the ambassador and bullets?
It's worth a try, sir. After all, they are the best cinnamon buns in all of Afghanistan.
I think you'll find that they're the only cinnamon buns in Afghanistan.
Like I said, sir, my buns are the best buns in Afghanistan.
I'm not so sure I go along with that statement, Thorny.
Scotty, you can forget about the earlier request to beat me up. I'm starting to find it interesting here. I still haven't found any evidence of intelligent life here yet, but I'm starting to find it interesting nonetheless.
I'm sorry. What else do you want me to say? I don't speak their fancy language.
That's English.
But that sounded weird.
All right, Coop, what's going on? I haven't seen you smile like that in the past year. You're not planning on going postal on us, are you? You don't have a AK-47 hidden in your bra, do you?
You'd like to know what I have to know, wouldn't you? In your dreams. I'm smiling because I had a message waiting for me this morning to call the Air Force Personnel Office.
And?
I got my orders! I'll be leaving here in about 90 days!
That's great news, Coop. Where are you going?
Who cares, as long as it's a long, long way from here.
We care, Coop. Who knows? We might want to come sponge off you for a couple weeks, if it's someplace nice. See if you can get a swimming pool. And decent food would really make a great change. Especially no goat's milk cheese.
I haven't seen the actual orders yet, but they said it's in New Mexico. A base called the Hollow Man Air Force Base. But the best part is, I get a senior master sergeant slot. I will have a chance of being promoted before I retire.
Wait, I thought they couldn't find a replacement for you. How do you think that changed?
I think the DCM pulled some strings in my behalf. You were right about making friends among the State Department people, Thorny. And that weekend up at the villa with the DCM probably didn't hurt either.
Hey, Colonel, did you hear? Coop finally got her orders.
Yes, I heard. Oh, that's really great, Coop.
How about you, sir? Any word on when your year of penance will end?
Well, there's no official word out of D.C. yet, but I think it might be almost over. I had a call from a Lieutenant Colonel back in the States a few days ago. Why, he was asking them how the golf was here in Afghanistan.
What did you tell him, sir?
I told him I play a round every day.
Let me get this straight. Did you tell him you play a round every day? Or that you play around every day?
You haven't played a single game of golf the entire time you've been here. It's a 12-hour drive to the nearest golf course. And you don't leave the office except to drive home.
No, ma'am, that's not true. In the movie in my mind, I did play a round of golf every day. Well, the Army dragged me out of retirement because they said they needed someone who spoke Russian. Do you know how many times I actually spoke Russian? Twice.
That's twice as many times as any of the rest of us. Thorny never even learned how to speak Afghanistan properly.
So why don't you tell us about your adventures in the Russian language, sir?
The first time was when a man at an official function at the ambassador's residence asked me where the bathroom was. And the second time was when some clown at the same reception asked me if I wanted to sell my shorts.
Well, did you sell your shorts, sir? Might have been a good opportunity to earn a few extra rubles on the side.
Oh, no way. That was a request I could not comply with. Why, if I were to be wandering around here in my underwear, no one would respect me.
I respect you, sir. I respect you if you showed up to work naked.
I remember the first intel report I typed when I arrived here. You mentioned in it that you met a Russian at an embassy function who asked you for a favor that you could not comply with. I thought you might have wanted to buy some secrets. He just wanted to get into your shorts.
After hearing what you told that lieutenant colonel who called, I'd have to say you're far shiftier than I ever even thought about being.
Just how do you think I kept my sanity during the extra year I was in? Golf, Shifty. Golf is what kept me sane.
Thorny, don't even consider saying what I know you're thinking.
Me, sir? I'm completely innocent, sir. I was just going to ask the colonel how things were going with his wife now.
Oh, yeah, sure. You're about as innocent as those scorpions Coop's going to be playing with in a couple of months.
Well, things at home are going pretty good, Thorny, thanks to you. Oh, that cinnamon bun you made for me to give to Mrs. Colonel, that one in the shape of a giant rose, that really got to her. The clock has been reset. 1 week, 5 days, 9 hours, and 37 minutes. Not that anybody's counting. I'm back in the saddle again.
Scorpions? There are scorpions there? I've already been stung badly enough by the colonel's rejection, and now you tell me I can